All right, let's talk about something that hits every single one of us, right in the wallet. It can sound complicated, maybe even a little scary, but it's really the financial bedrock of our society. We're talking about taxes.
So, first things first, let's talk about where your money actually goes. To do that, we have to start with that moment we all know so well, getting paid. You know that feeling, right? You look at your paycheck, you see that big number at the top, your gross pay, and you start making plans. But then you scroll down to the bottom line, the net pay, and it's smaller. That feeling is universal, and the answer to that mystery is almost always the same thing: taxes.
So, what are taxes, really? What are these things that take a little slice of our paychecks and add a bit to our shopping bills? Let's cut through all the jargon and get a really simple, clear definition. And boom, there it is. Super simple, right? At its heart, a tax is a required payment to the government. It's not optional, it's something we all have to contribute. But the really important part is that last bit, to fund public services. This money doesn't just disappear into thin air. It has a job to do. I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Seriously, think of all the subscriptions you pay for, movies, music, whatever. Well, taxes are kind of like our collective subscription fee for a functioning, civilized society. It's what pays for the roads we drive on, the schools our kids go to, and the emergency services that keep us safe. Okay, so we get the what of taxes, but what about the how? How does that money actually travel from your pocket and turn into, say, a new public park? Let's follow the money.
It really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, it starts with us. Individuals earning a salary, businesses making a profit, all of us just buying stuff. Step 2, the government steps in and collects a required piece of that money. And then, step 3, that money gets pooled together to fund all the things that keep our society running. It's really a cycle. We earn, the government collects, and then it invests that money back into the public good.
Theory is one thing, but let's bring this down to earth. Where do you actually see taxes in your day-to-day life? This is where it gets real.
Okay, here's a classic everyday example. You walk into a coffee shop, the menu says your latte is $3, but when you get to the register, the total is just a little bit more. That extra 24 cents? Yep, that's sales tax. In a lot of countries, you'll hear it called VAT, or value added tax. It's probably one of the most common ways we all chip in, just a few cents at a time.
And let's come full circle back to that paycheck mystery. This little table breaks it down perfectly. Your gross pay, that's the $1,000 your employer agrees to pay you. That's the top line number. But from that, the government takes out income tax, in this case, $150. What's left over, the $850, is your net pay. And that is the money that actually lands in your bank account.
All right, time for a quick myth-busting session. There are so many misconceptions floating around about taxes, so let's tackle one of the biggest ones right now. You've definitely heard this one, right? The idea that taxes are basically just a problem for the rich, for big corporations. Yeah, that is just not true. It's a huge myth. Now, it is true that higher earners often pay a higher percentage in income tax. That's what's known as a progressive tax system. But pretty much everyone pays taxes in some way, shape, or form. Remember that coffee? That sales tax hits everyone. Same for property taxes if you own a home, or other taxes on things like investments. These different kinds of taxes are woven into just about everyone's financial life, no matter how big or small your paycheck is.
So we've defined what a tax is, we've seen how it works, we've busted a myth, but why does any of this matter? Why is it actually important for you to get your head around all this?
Because, honestly, understanding taxes gives you control. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own money. This isn't just about following the rules, it's about empowerment. When you get the basics, you can make way smarter decisions about saving and investing. You can budget better because you actually know your real take-home pay. And of course, you can avoid some pretty costly mistakes. This kind of knowledge is true financial power.
So there you have it. We've broken it all down. Taxes aren't just some boring forms or numbers on a spreadsheet. They are literally the engine that builds the world around us. They pay for the streets we walk on, the libraries we use, and the safety nets that catch us when we fall. And that really leaves us with one final, much bigger question to think about. Now that you know what taxes are for, what kind of society do you want yours to build?